So today we're doing the Wellness Wednesday. This is week 42. We've been on this journey together, and it's this journey of going from what this life is. It's the journey of self-awareness. And so we talk about the different ideas of what it is that we know, our foundations in life, and we go through these obstacles that we share together. And then we learn how we can progress past that. So it's this self-awareness journey that we go through. And the thing that's beautiful is it's not me being the expert, it's you being the expert. You're the expert in your life. And by hearing the reflections of other people that have gone through similar things or other obstacles, they may spark an idea within you of like either a resilience or an answer that you may not have known that you know. Sometimes people will share something that is just very simple to them, that they've always done their entire life, and it will be life-changing for somebody else. And this is the beauty of what we create in the space. So welcome, everyone. We've got a big group. So what I'd like to do is, if we could just have just a short answer, what would you like to get out of today? And so I'll start today. What I would like to get out of today is connection. And when we're looking at self-talk, how can we teach this to others? And Will, what would you like to get out of today?
Learning how to and hearing from others the best way that they find of how to sort of quieten that self-talk and that quieten that sort of negative in a person that can crop up and that sort of thing. So what I'd like to get out of today.
Thank you so much. So quieting that negative self-talk and moving it more to a positive self-talk. Patty, what would you like to get out of today?
To be honest, today I'm just here for the connection and curiosity about how others deal with the negative self-talk. I know, yeah, pretty sure I will gain some new insights from that.
So you're here for that connection and to learn some new insight. Maureen, how about for you? What would you like to get out today?
Always learning more what the self-talk triggers do for within my body and really catching them quicker than letting them, continue to fester away.
So it's the learning more about the self-talk. And Charlene's at work, so she won't be able to speak, but she's able to listen in. So thank you for your presence, Charlene. So Jan, what would you like to get out of today?
I also don't know that it's any different than what anybody else has shared so far. I really come here for everybody, to be around these great humans and honey. So, and then I also wanted to just bring up this, and I wanted to get people's, just input on, is self-talk always bad? Like, if you're reinforcing and positive self-talking to yourself, what role does that play for you in your life? So that's what I was curious about.
I love that. So you'd like to get out today, just the understanding of self-talk in general and the difference between positive and negative, and maybe even exploring this positive self-talk. How about for you, Paul?
I think I got the wrong topic. I was doing reading on self-esteem. Well, it's good. I can be flexible.
It is positive self-talk is the topic, but it's interesting how when we say self-talk, it comes up with negative self-talk, right? And I didn't change it for anyone because this is our room. It's fluid. We will go in the direction that the room takes us. So you're interested in this idea of positive self-esteem and positive self-talk.
Well, I mean, I'm interested in planting flowers today, so this is what this is going to do.
That's amazing. All right. Cherie, am I saying your name properly? Cherie?
Yeah, but people call me Cher.
Oh, Cher. So Cher, what would you like to get out of today?
Learning, self-esteem boosting, and I like to have more positivity in my life.
Mhm. So learning, more positivity, and self-esteem boosting. Lovely.
Yeah.
So, Han, what would you like to get out today?
I know I practice positive self-talk, but I would like to learn from everybody else here as well.
Lovely. And Will, if you could create the rooms, I've got the questions here for you, and I'll send them over to you. Mahima, what would you like to get out of today?
Hi everyone, in that safe space, and also different techniques and tools for having sabotaging thoughts.
So that's lovely. So it's having that safe space, and then the techniques and tools to manage with sabotaging self-talk. And Miriam, what would you like to get out of today?
I think when you feel any emotion, sorry about the noise. When you feel any emotion, it's good to go through it, right? But when do you stop going through it and then change the narrative in your mind? Right? So that is what I'm trying to do.
Perfect. Thank you so much. While we're doing that, could everybody just say where you're from? So I'm from North Carolina, United States. Maureen, where are you from?
Oh, I'm from Southern Alberta, Canada, in a small little area where there's farms all around me. It's a beautiful, serene, lovely place.
And Patty.
I'm in the Netherlands and also surrounded by beautiful farms. So that's a coincidence.
Lovely. And Jan, where are you from?
I'm from outside Hartford, Connecticut in the US, and happens to be that I'm surrounded by a number of farms too, because I'm in a pretty rural area.
Charlene, but that she's from Radium Hot Springs, British Columbia, Canada. Absolutely beautiful place where she is.
Right. So is Charlene and Rashmi able to join breakout rooms, or we need to put them in the waiting room?
You can put them in the same breakout room, and
I think I
Charlene
have.
just ask Rashmi
Maureen,
to participate.
Maureen, you're in the main room with Stephen as requested. And the question, everyone.
So the basis of it is, what is your foundation for self-talk? So it's the idea. Where did your self-talk come from? How was it modeled by your parents? And that's really what it is. What was your
So
self-talk?
where's it come from, right?
Yeah, where does it come from? And
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Oh, we've got.
you're muted, Cody.
Well, Cody's going to be in the main room with you too, Stephen, now.
All right.
Yeah, sorry, I'm a little bit late. I had some connection issues.
Oh, that's okay. So I hope that you're okay being recorded.
Yes,
Okay.
it's fine.
So the idea is we're talking about this idea of self-talk, and it's how do we manage or how did we learn self-talk? What was modeled for us? And my parents didn't really have a lot of positive self-talk. I mean, I think they were quiet a lot of my life. And so I only heard a lot from my parents when I was in trouble. But I generated a rather critical personal self-talk. And so I don't know whether that came from that environment or not. But my internal voice was very hard on myself. And I was happy to be shed of that. And the way that I was shed of that is that I just happened to get to a place in time where things were quite difficult. And I just said, I cannot feel this way anymore. I cannot think this way anymore. It's not helpful to me. And I'm not going to feel this way anymore. And part of this was this realization that we can choose our thoughts. So, I had gotten into a flow state. So it's this idea. So for myself, I didn't have a good foundation or a good basis in positive self-talk. And somehow or other, I developed some sort of negative self-talk. I have no idea where it came from. So how about for you, Miriam?
For me, Yeah, well, I could say the same. Growing up, things were very rough, and it wasn't until later on in my life where I'd literally faced basically my whole life came crumbling apart, and I was taken away basically from everything that I loved. And this was a catalyst for change for me because I now found myself in a place where I had no choice but to change my perspective. And I had no choice but to consciously be aware, of the things that I'm telling myself, the stories that I'm telling myself. Because at the end of the day, the stories that I was telling myself weren't correlating with the reality of things at the end of the day. And I'm so grateful actually to have gotten the opportunity for my life to fall apart so that I could see these things on my own, because I too never had parents pointing me in the right direction. And also, I believe that a lot of our perspective and the negativity gets pushed forth through radio or television. A lot of the stories that we hear are not empowering stories, and this is what we're affirming it to ourselves as we're listening, you know. So I do believe we've got to be careful of that which we ingest, not just with our mouths, but with our eyes, with our ears, with the company that we choose to keep. And all of this goes hand in hand with our quality of thoughts.
The wisdom that you're speaking is, I mean, it's just like it resonates. It's so deeply. I mean, that ability to choose, it is not easy if you're seeking the validation of others. It's not easy to realize that we are enough. We don't need that validation of others, especially if it's being critical, right? So, Maureen, what was your basis and experience like?
My basis was with my mom. She was very critical of me and everything about me, my friends, my school, my dresses, just me. And my dad was very silent. So I had no support on one hand, and I had very high critical on the other hand. And how I survived that is I started to read a book that said, I'm okay, you're okay. And I started recognizing that the criticism from my mother was her issues, not mine. And I did fall down the pattern. I started to criticize, of course, myself heavily, my friends. I didn't know how to develop relationships. And then I broke that. I broke that cycle. I said, no more. This is not the way I want to live. This is not how I want to be who I am. And started recognizing that criticism was so destructive. And when I had children, I did the polar opposite. I encouraged, I spoke love to them, and I helped them create their own personal self-esteem as they grew older. So I changed. Still, though, today, um, human psyche, there's times I get caught up in that negative self-talk. And then I ask myself, is this really true? And what am I doing here? And how do I need to change my self-talk? And typically what I need to do is just get up and change the physical space that I'm in, either going for a walk, doing some meditation, just remembering who I am at that part.
That's lovely. And we did have so Ariel was here, but she's dropped off. So I wanted to welcome her, but it's a moot point now, and it's this idea. So we are in the breakout rooms. We have Michael here, so we have the four of us that we know. So you're familiar with the process. Um, for you, Michael, what was your foundation for self-talk? And I'd like to welcome PR. We are recording this main room, so feel free to keep your camera off. We've got the rest of the group in the out in breakout rooms discussing what is our foundation of self-talk. How is that model for us? So, Michael, go ahead. What was your foundation for self-talk, and what was that experience like for you?
The whole aspect actualized brought in a sense of a a form of imaginary thought to actualities. Why did this happen? Why was that happening? What can I do to live a better, more fulfilling life? That was a key factor. With a very wise soul one day, encouraged me to see a little yellow flower on a small holding. You know who you are. Changed my life.
I remember that. I remember that discussion, and that that idea of where we place our focus is quite powerful. So I think that people are going to be coming back soon. Was there any insights that you had that shifted the way that you experience self-talk?
Are you asking me?
Um, Cody has someone that wants to come join us in our meeting.
Yes.
Who's the friend? Everyone,
One of my little ones, my children, and I've got my cat here on my lap as well. So,
all children and all pets welcome in the Global Summit events. We have some of the most self-aware and some of the most hypnotically adept cats because they sit through our classes with us and they sit through our trainings with us. So I do believe that they must be going through the same emotional awareness that the rest of us are going through because my cat seems quite interested in it.
yeah, definitely. If not more, I think that they might have an idea, a little bit more of an idea of what's truly going on within us and around us on energetic levels. I might be wrong, but
You're right. I mean, so I'm an electrical engineer, and the definition of a positive charge was the charge left on a glass rod when it's been stroked with cat fur, and that's why cats stay clean is because their fur carries an electrical charge that actually repels dirt. So it's like they tend to stay clean, and so if their skin if the way that they are has this ability to feel the magnetic, the electric field around them and to be charged, no wonder that exists, right? No wonder that they're in tune with their emotions. We've got 44 seconds before everyone joins us.
What I believe with cats or horses is that they're creating awareness. They come and sit on our laps, they connect with us, they disturb us when we're doing things. And I feel it's a matter of them saying, hey, just reconnect here, just pause for a moment and just be in this moment. I'm feeling that you're not grounded at this time. So they just kind of give us that little nudge of attention.
Go ahead. 12 seconds.
I can think you can all speak for yourself because I saw something on social media where a cat moved the camera to pimp the dog eating the remote control. So I don't know if I trust cats that well.
So
welcome. That actually did happen.
But welcome back, everyone. I hope that was a lovely experience, and sorry for the little bit of confusion as we were sorting through our technical thing. We had two other people join us, but again with a little bit of technical difficulty, they dropped off. The next question that we have, it's how does your self-talk affect your emotions, your energy throughout the day? And so I want to go ahead and put that in how does your self-talk affect your emotions and your energy levels throughout the day? And so we'll just have a jump back into the breakout rooms and to talk about this idea. This is on that level of awareness journey because it's like how much does our self-talk actually impact the way that we feel? And how does it affect our energy level, right? What we focus upon, how does that impact how much energy we have? So some people talk about coming to different events or meetings. Some can drain you, and then others can leave you feeling energized or recharged. So we're looking for that awareness. So the question again is, how can your current self-talk affect your emotions and energy level during the day?
I honestly think that it's life-changing stuff. And the difference between positive self-talk and negative self-talk can either make your life or break your life. And I do speak from experience. Growing up, I used to have some depression and all sorts, So I've now transcended that through um, my own level of self-talk these days. And it does come down to the powerful I am, For me, I am has helped me a lot. And repetition, 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 because these things don't just happen overnight.
That's lovely. And that is one of the most powerful things that we can do, because the next thing that you say after I am is it is quite powerful. And how many people will use it with negative, like I am bad at technology, or I am not a good speaker. It's like, stop it. You know, what I do in the hypnotherapy is, if somebody's trying to quit smoking, I say, okay, the first thing that you need to do is say I am a non-smoker that happens to smoke, right? I am a non-smoker that just happens to smoke at this moment. Eventually I will not, my identity and my actions will come together. But for the time, I believe that I'm a non-smoker that just happens to smoke, and that is the most powerful recognition that you can make. So anything that you're doing that you're struggling with, just say that, like if you're trying to be a speaker, I am a speaker that just happens to be afraid of speaking, or happens to not like speaking, or whatever it might be. And eventually you'll get there. So are we ready, Will?
We are ready. I've just lost Patty. Sorry, Patty, I've lost her. I've lost you.
She's here.
I can see her. I can see her there, but I can't find her on my list. So I'll manually assign Patty to a room. So have you got the question?
Yeah, the question is, how does your current self-talk affect your emotions and energy levels throughout the day? So I don't know that hosts or co-hosts are assigned automatically. How much time do we have, Will?
We've got 8 minutes.
Okay. And then Patty and Will are Patty and Soham are in the main room with me.
Yeah. Well, at the moment, I'm waiting for.
Join room 4, because Cody's there by herself.
I've put. Sorry, I've put who Opulent Leaf Love, 1976 is in room 4.
Okay.
I was going there to meet with.
Cody, you click on the breakout rooms below and then hit join if the message didn't come up.
Oh, yeah, I put her with someone else, but they've dropped off. So I'll join her, and you 3 can stay there.
All right, sounds good. So Patty, do you have experience with fluctuations of energy levels or emotions?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And
Especially lately, I have this new boss. No.
I heard it's my boss too. We're talking about Global Summit events.
Yeah.
Problem is I can't tell him he's a jerk because it's me.
Yeah. No, but seriously, yes. And yeah, I'm experiencing challenging times, so it's I think normal that sometimes you wake up in the morning and think, this is not my day. I don't, and I don't feel right, and I don't want to do this, and why even bother? Those human feelings, right? Every human has them. And then for me, it's just a reminding of, why I doing what I'm doing. And sometimes it's just because I know it's important to someone else that I show up. It's not always about me. That can help me, lift myself up. And then sometimes it's just about just start, just do, and then you get, you know, the vibe from whatever you are doing. If it's just, you know, go out, walk in nature, and then you look and you hear the bird, and then lifts your spirits. Sometimes it's you know, hopping on to GSE and see the chat and everybody, you know, chattering, lifts your spirit. You know, sometimes it's just a matter of, you know, choosing the right piece of music and, you know, dance a little. And so there are so many things one can do, you know, to lift himself up. And what I also started to do is in the morning, you know, when I just wake up, uh, open the curtain, light a candle, you know, it's just a little bit dark still, you know, and then just listen to all the noises outside, because I'm fortunate to live near the woods. So I, you know, all kind of birds and beasts, and just, you know, start with a relaxed mindset my day, right? So that's a bit how I do it.
That's so lovely because I actually started off a little bit stressed as well. Like this morning, I woke up and I had so many messages, and it's like it caused me anxiety. It's, you know, and it's like, I had like, I woke up and I had like a coaching call starting in like 5 minutes, and it's like, okay, you know, and I'm running from this to this and this, and then all these, a lot of things that people are asking of me, and trying to make these connections, and just getting the things done. And I just want to thank you. Your description of waking up in the morning and lighting the candle and listening to the music. Ken Caputo talked about that is the time. That is your, he calls it, that's like your neutral space. That is your balance point. And it's like anytime during the day, you can either go above that or below that, but you can always come back to that level. And that level it's a very good place. And it may change from one day to the next, but it means this is your center point, right? So you can always come back to this place when you first wake up. And it's quite beautiful. And as you were sharing that, all of a sudden, all of the tension that I had just dissolved away. And so thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And listening to the birds, that's so beautiful, though.
It is.
Yeah. For me, my morning does start with meditation, you know. I mean, I when I wake up, I quickly do check the phone, just if I've not have received any messages from my family, and they're the only important people. If there's no messages from the family, phone goes down, you know, and this is a habit, you know, I've had it for many years. And my husband also joins me as well. So we both, when we come, brush our teeth, come down, have warm water. This is our rituals in the morning. And once we've had the warm water, we will sit down for 20 minutes and we do meditation. So we can then start our day in the right way, you know, basically, you know. And that's how I think I start. And even then, just want to share with both of you, even then, I may have started that way sometime. Something happens, and it doesn't mean that I'm actually focused. You know, something like today, something did happen, and it has actually slightly took me off the track, you know, and I can feel it in my body as well, you know. It's not the negative self-talk, but something somebody's done has affected me and my mental well-being, you know, mental thinking at the moment, you know. So, you know, but I think what I'm trying to say, but for me, having that consistency every day actually helps me, you know, um, in my well-being, basically, you know, and self-talk. When somebody sometimes does say something, I question, because why have they said? Because what I can't see is what you can see, and you can say, so this is what I'm seeing, you know. And I do actually then question, saying how authentic that person is for telling me that, you know. If it's one of my coaching friends, then I find that where, you know, that they're coming from that wanting to help, you know. But if it's in the work environment, and if I know the individual and in what content they're coming from, then, you know, my self-talk will be in that way as well. So you have to have that awareness about it, you know. So
Yeah, for sure, because like you, it must be something in the air because today also I got a message and I was completely, you know, I was doing my thing and I got a message and I was just out of it, you know, because first of all, I didn't expect it from that person. And then the message in itself was, you know, a little bit disturbing. And then it was like, okay, but how I'm going to deal with it? And I was a little bit in panic, you know, like because I never in a million years expected that message from that person. So and then what I do is I reach out. So I reach out to my husband and said, this happened to me. What do I do? And he said, breathe, you know, take a deep breath, you know, leave it for now and don't react. So leave it for now so that instead of reacting, you can respond, right?
yes.
More thoughtfully and in the right mindset, right? So, and then of course I have my own mentors and so I reach out to a mentor and like, oh, I'm totally out of it. And then, you know, that is also a way of, you know, bringing someone who knows you, who can bring you back in your own feeling, right? And in your own being.
Yes.
You're back. Hooray.
I am muted. Go ahead, Paul.
I'm always curious. Are we supposed to get out of that room when the breakout room ends sign comes up? Or do we wait till the end? Because I always find there's like stuff to talk about when I
each one of you are in full control. If I could put a button on here that says I don't want to leave, I would put that button on there too, because you know if you're having a a meaningful experience, this is what it's about. This should be our journey, and if we could put the control into each one of your spaces, I would do that. But Zoom doesn't give us that ability. It's up to you. If you want to come back right away, most people, if they're having a good conversation, will stay to the very last second. And
Well-
and that's fine. I mean,
I just wanted to check the expectations. I always think about it.
it's whatever you want. It's whatever you want. If you're in the room with somebody, like if you're in the room and you're having like a really energy draining, feel free to come back right away. You can leave you can leave the room at the moment and say, okay, well, I need to come back. But I do want to offer that anyone that's having challenges, bye Rashmi, anyone that's having challenges, it's like this is an opportunity for self-reflection, right? It's like the people that create a trigger within you or people that create a challenge within you, eventually you'll find that they are the greatest gift that we could have, because if we can break free from that emotional response, we are now free, and we're not slaves to responding to the trigger that they're setting off from us, because it's not them that's doing it. It's our own trigger that is being activated, and then we have this emotional response. If we can figure that out and learn from that, it's like that's the ultimate freedom. And you'll actually be grateful for that last person to trigger you, because it's like, oh my gosh, you just taught me something about myself that's invaluable. And then instead of looking at the person, you take that inward. And I think that's what Cody was talking about earlier. It's like once you have this realization or this transformation, it changes everything.
Stephen, can I share something with you quickly?
Please.
So I posted on Facebook last night. Your triggers are your responsibility. It isn't the world's obligation to tiptoe around you. I like that.
That's lovely. Does anyone else have anything to share? Will, go ahead and manage that while I pull up the question.
I saw that, Paul, and that was really funny. That was really good. on your Facebook.
Thanks, Maima.
I've organized the last set of breakout rooms. We will have probably just 10 minutes at the next question.
All right.
And when we come back, we'll be doing our takeaways for today. What do you perceive as the biggest challenge in developing and maintaining positive self-talk? And Cody, you're staying in the main room with Stephen this time. And we'll see you in 10 minutes. So what are the challenges you find in developing and maintaining your positive self-talk, and what strategies have you used to overcome this hurdle?
Something?
Oh,
Go ahead.
sorry.
Okay, join your rooms, everyone.
So I'm looking forward to everyone coming back with a new realization. Perfect. Well, lovely to share the space with you, Cody.
Yes, likewise. I'm grateful and honored to be here.
So what's what comes to mind for you when it comes to this idea of developing positive self-talk? The first question is do you actively participate in positive self-talk?
I do actively participate. Having had first-hand experience since I was a youngster, where I didn't really express positive self-talk at all because I also had a very difficult upbringing. And, like I was just saying to Bill now, it's difficult to appreciate the person that you see in the mirror when you don't receive appreciation from core foundations such as your parents or your family. And for me, that was very difficult coming to terms with, but I eventually accepted it, in the knowing that people can only understand you from their level of perspective. And a lot of people weren't taught correctly. A lot of our parents weren't taught correctly, or given that higher perspective to work from. And so it just got passed down and passed down. But eventually there comes a time in your life where you've got to come to the party and you've got to come to the table for yourself, because if you don't do it, nobody else is going to. And, it really comes down to, do I want to continue living my life like this, or do I want some change? Because this doesn't feel very good. And I actually want to start feeling good about my life,
Yeah.
But like I said earlier, it also comes down to the entertainment that we allow ourselves into our lives. Like I don't really watch TV or movies. I'll rather watch a documentary or something that I can actually take something empowering from it.
That's quite important. And what's interesting about that is I'm on the scale of highly sensitive, individual, meaning that I feel the chemistry within my body, where it's, to me it's intense. So like if I eat something, I feel the chemistry of the food going through my body. I feel the emotions going through my body. And there's some emotions that I like, and there's some emotions that I do not like. I do not like the emotion of conflict. I do not. And so it creates some difficult dynamics, because for me, if someone is feeling, that they in a place of conflict, I will avoid that conflict. And so it creates this place of them not being heard. And so, it escalates the conflict, because now I'm not participating in something that they feel is important. And so it puts everything off the rails. But it's also a gift. Like, so for many, many years, I call it being tossed around on the ocean of emotion, because it's like I was just going from one place to the other, just trying to find my footing, and then not realizing that we can actually not only feel the emotions of the world around us, but we can actually project that as well. So when we become regulated, it becomes quite powerful. And so you shared that idea of, when not feeling appreciated. This is something that I felt as well. It's like it's not a good feeling to not be appreciated. And if you feel it deeply, it puts you in enough pain or enough discomfort that you can say, I want to choose something else. And in that space, I remember choosing in a moment when I was saying, I was actually resentful. This person that I'm doing this thing for doesn't appreciate me. And I made a choice. I'm not going to do it for them. I'm going to do it as an offering to God. I'm going to do it as a connection to my backyard, right? A connection to the land. I'm going to do this for me. And when I shifted that, I got into the flow state. And once you get into the flow state, right, where all possibilities are available to you, that is one of the most beautiful places to be, because it's like you are empowered, you are connected, you feel worthy and appreciated, and it's so positive that when I came back in the house, I walked into conflict again. I walked into and I was feeling so good before, and then I instantly was pulled down into this lower energy, and my soul screamed out, I want to come back to this place of flow. And so it was about doing dishes. And it's like, I was outside doing all this work, and I chose not to even argue um, about the smallest details. They weren't my dishes. I just, I, and then I just decided I'm going to go back to the flow state. I'm just going to go make this an offering. It doesn't matter that they're not my dishes. I'm just going to do them anyways. And so I went through and I started doing the dishes, and I got back to that flow state. And as I was asking myself the question, it's like, why don't like doing dishes? It's like, where did this belief come from? And the moment that I switched that in my mind, it's like, how many moments of time have I passed in misery doing dishes when I could have been in this flow state of joy, of doing something that I connected? And that's a realization that's quite powerful. So
Thank you for sharing that with me. That is beautiful.
yes, yes. And it's quite powerful, because if you can get into that state of being, you can switch your experience, and you have to be intentional. So
Yes, yes. It all comes down to consciously choosing or not choosing, what are you going to allow into your life, thoughts wise, even. Something I started doing was I would turn things into like a bit of a ritual, that would cultivate more positivity within my mind. Like you say, where you started enjoying doing the dishes just by asking that ground based question of where do these beliefs come from? And yeah, it's really empowering stuff. Like I talk to life. I speak to my animals, children, but I speak to my house, and I speak to the things in my house as well, because everything does carry an energy, you know. And I just try and turn everything into an expression of gratitude. Even if something breaks and I'm about to throw it out, I'll say, well, thank you. You served your purpose. And
you ever come across Marie Kondo?
say
You
again?
Have you ever come across Marie Kondo? She's a
No.
she's a quite so you are embodying a very similar thing to what she shares, and it's this idea of does something spark joy within you, right? It's like everything that we have in this life. It doesn't matter what it is. It's like we'll have a pen. Does this pen spark joy within you? And if it does, then have gratitude for that, and to keep it around. But if it doesn't, um, simply give it thanks for being in your life and let it go, right? Either
Yeah.
gift it away or sell it or do something different with it. But if it's not bringing you joy, it has no place in your house, and everything within your house should bring you joy. And it's like,
Yes,
and it's
100%.
and it's like you don't need a lot of things, but if 100% of your surroundings are things that offer you joy, what a joyful home you would have.
Exactly. This is true. Oh, here we go. We've got a visitor again.
Yes, it's interesting. So yeah, what a
Yeah.
lovely discussion.
Say again.
I said, what a lovely discussion.
Yes, yes, and thank you so much for sharing your perspective with me. And it's very true, you know, I've had it really rough. I've had it rough enough to know that I don't want anything in my life, whether it's a person or a thing or an experience that brings me anything less than joy. If it brings disharmony, you know, with peace and with love, it can go.
It's it's a little bit of a challenge because we will have that challenge to our harmony when we bring someone else into our life. It's just the nature. Our children will do it, our animals will do it, but it's recognizing that when that disharmony or when that challenge is for our own growth, and recognizing that sometimes that we can have that ultimate growth, but it's letting go of those things that are draining your energy completely, right? Not working in that positive space. So, because there can be moments, yeah, there can be moments of passing, but it's like if someone is not their energy is not, harmonic with yours, it's just noise.
Yeah, exactly. And life is too short for that. Eh?
I I always think that words have power, so I've switched that phrase from life is too short to life is too precious um because the length of our stay here is independent, and I don't want to influence that by my words. What I want
Mm,
the longest possible life, but I really want life to be precious. And so that's what I've adopted in my life is, so I say life is too precious for this because it really is too
mm,
precious.
I love that. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And I do believe that words mean things.
Yeah, 100% they do. You know, words are incredibly powerful. I've spoken some interesting things into my life, both positive and negative. And that's why I was saying earlier, it can literally make or break your life.
It can.
Um, yeah,
And
words
if it,
are power.
and if it breaks your life, it's almost like, well, we'll have to come back and do it again.
Yeah,
because because
yes,
we see these patterns of repeating patterns, and it's like it's nice when you can actually understand the lesson and then be free. And so
yes.
you don't have to be in that same pattern anymore. You can be free to enjoy and it's almost like being on holiday. You're in life, no more lessons, and now you're on holiday.
Yeah, this is true. This is very true. Thank you very much.
Aw, who's this?
Oh, my baby girl.
What's your
Her name
name?
is
Yes.
Jessica.
Hi, Jessica.
Wow, she's feeling shy.
Lovely. What a beautiful hug.
Yeah, she's full of love.
That's lovely. So
They're my pride and joy.
if we could, let's do our little family picture that we always do. So on the
Yeah.
count of three, everyone smile, and I'll try to get this. So on one, two, three. And lovely. All right. So Will, could you lead the takeaways for us?
Yes. So we've had a great conversation today, and thank you all for being here. Um, oh, baby, hello, baby. And yeah, so we've had a great conversation today, all talking about negative self-talk and our positive self-talk. So I'd really like to find out from everybody what their takeaways was. Was there a strategy that they found in the breakout rooms that they can use to help them keep their positive self-talk up? So I'm going to go with Paul first. What's your takeaway
Well,
for us?
I'm a couple. I'll make it quick. First of all, my negative self-talk is really a sign that I'm not living my soul's truth. And for me, that's become quite clear. And part of my strategies for positive self-talk is practicing certain fundamentals every day and weekly fundamentals like coming here. This helps a lot with feeding positivity. And then I have specific practices that I do every day, and that just keeps me moving forward strongly. So yeah.
Thanks, Paul. And Michael, what was your takeaway for today? And thank you for joining us.
Everyone has a right to their own feelings, and that's okay. But what is not okay is to stay in those moments of lullness. That's when we reach out to an international community, family, friends, to allow us individually to process and become a better version of ourselves. That was my takeaway.
Thank you, Michael. And Cody, thank you for joining us for the first time today. What was your takeaway?
My takeaway was that each and every one of us holds the keys to create exactly the life that we've always been dreaming of. And it all comes down to conscious choice of the trajectory we want to take.
Thanks, Cody. And Sher, thank you for joining us for your first Wellness Wednesday. What was your takeaway for today?
My takeaway was expanding on visualizations. So visualizing, a lot more different things and in different ways. And also there was in the breakout room, a herbal remedy solution. So I've written that one down. But generally my strategy for keeping positive is looking at famous people's quotes. I find that really positive. So yeah,
Thanks.
and connecting with others today. So it's been great. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, Sher. Really appreciate it. And you too, Cody. Mahima, hello. And what's your takeaway for today?
A number of things. One is I'm going to have my negative self-talk and accept that. And what am I going to do about them is the fact that using a couple of strategies that I've picked up here, but also for myself, is when I get that self-talk, I tend to do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in my own head. And that allows me to change that thought. The other strategy that I've just picked up today is because obviously this self-talk, negative talk gives you those feelings and those feelings linger on. So what do I need to do? Well, I need to understand that it's going to come, but find a way of kind of mirroring that back into positive, into the field. That's what I've picked up. Thank you.
Thanks, Mahima. And Jan, what's your takeaway for today?
I think I loved just Mahima just said is for me is not getting angry. Like it's almost like I get upset that I'm having negative self-talk and kind of letting it just be there for what it is. And then obviously we're, practicing tools, but just not getting so upset that it's there.
Thanks, Jan. And Maureen, what was your takeaway for today?
Well, all of that. And then curiosity, asking the question. And so it's in your head and then just really, really feeling it, acknowledging it and being okay with it.
Thanks, Maureen. And Mariam, are you able to give us your takeaway?
Yes. So for me, it's there's always hope. And if you're facing any negative self-talk, just breathe, stop, take your time, and then go back to where you want to go. So yeah, that's my takeaway from today. Thank you.
Thanks, Mariam. And Sohab.
For me, like many of the people said, doing daily practices, but, self-negative thoughts do come. So when they do come, I actually look at them and ask, you know, what's truth about this that I am not actually understanding. So I delve deeper, you know, much deeper into it to see what is the truth and what is not the truth. And if it's not the truth, I let it go. If there is a truth in it, I'll look at it for myself and what changes do I need to make so I can move forward from where I'm feeling stuck, basically.
Okay, thanks, Simon. And Patty, what's your takeaway for today?
That because when I was talking to people in the breakout rooms, the reminder, you know, for me also today, you know, like reach out. If you find yourself going down to in that spiral of negative self-talk, and you find that you aren't able, you know, to put that mirror on yourself, or you know, to find your smiley thing and smile again, reach out to someone. And I think being surrounded by people who understand that we are all humans and that we all go through those phases of the negative self-talk, right? So that's my takeaway.
Thanks, Patty. For me, I think the negative self-talk for me, it tends to start with the overthinking. And that's what I found today is don't overthink it and find those things that help you remain in that positive self-talk, area. So Stephen, over to you and time to close. And quickly, thank you everybody for all your wonderful little takeaways there. I think there was lots of inspiration there for me as well in just those takeaways. So Stephen is going to close for us today.
So in my takeaway is just the gratitude because I came in with a little bit of tension myself, and we don't realize that we even have it. And then just in the breakout room with Patty, she was describing waking up in the morning and this beautiful sense of peace, hearing the birds, lighting a candle. And it brought me to it just all of a sudden that tension just dissolved away. And so I can leave this space right now feeling lighter, feeling more energized. I just have chills just thinking how much of a positive impact that was. Next week, so thank you for that. And thank you all for that collective energy and this collective, realization that we can transform our experience. Next week is mindfulness. It's International Mindfulness Day. And so it's about being in the present moment. We're going to be talking about how do we be in the present moment? How do we actually, release the past, not worry about the future, and celebrate the celebration of living life right now, right here with each one of you. So we're looking forward to that. Thank you for being part of this community, and feel free to invite anyone that you think would be resonant or think would be, someone that would add to this community spirit of authenticity, of mutual growth and what's happening. Patty, go ahead.
We also have that feedback form, or I'm really happy to see some new faces too, because I'm all about connection and connecting globally, and meeting new people is always lifting my spirit. So that's also helpful. So thank you for showing up.
WhatsApp chat. Sherry, if you'd like to stay connected with our community, we do have a WhatsApp chat. We do have social, like social media groups, things like that. If you're interested, Patty's email is,
I'll put it in the chat.
And it's WOLTERS. There's 3 buttons on the chat. If you click on the 3 buttons, you can click Save Chat. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you next week.
All right, bye.